Hi, everybody. Welcome. Good morning. I know it's an early start. I appreciate you getting up early. I was up having breakfast. I was shocked at how many people were up that early. Obviously, I usually am not. This is nice because we're coming into an area that not many cruise ships get to go and visit. We're coming into, after we leave Lima, we're going to be traveling to Saint-Martin, which is the port for Pisco and Paracas, okay? All very short cruising, but also people can drive there. In fact, the people that are going to Machu Picchu are taking a bus there the day that we get there so that they can join the ship again. And really, you know, when you talk about Peru, people always think, you know, it's like jungle. But you're going to see when we arrive in Lima, a huge city on a coast, a desert area. It is beautiful there. You're going to have nice, cool breezes from the ocean. If you're going more inland, it's going to be a little bit warmer. I know it doesn't seem like that today, but it will be. And then when you travel into the Andes and get to experience these beautiful views, this is my friend, Dr. Dylan. You might know him. He used to be a doctor on the ship. But Andes are absolutely stunning. So 3 distinct topographies here in Peru. But it's really 2 nations, I almost would say, because you have the huge city of Lima with its huge population, very modern city, the economic center of the country, trade and manufacturing and services and so forth in and around Lima. But then you go and you travel inland into the Andes and you're going into Cusco and Chinchero and Machu Picchu, and you're literally going back in time. These people travel still pushing their oxen, their sheep everywhere. You know, it's like time forgot them. Farming is their biggest industry there, and tourism has become much more popular here. They do agriculture, mining is still very big, and of course, fishing. You'll see that too when we dock in Callao. There'll be some fishing boats, or you probably saw them yesterday too, but today we'll see fishing boats out and around for Peru. It is bordered on the east side by Brazil and Bolivia, and then it's bordered by Colombia and Ecuador to the north, and well, Chile and a bit of Bolivia to the southeast there for Bolivia. It's not a huge country, only about 500,000 square miles or about 800,000 kilometers. It is 32 million people is the population, very, you know, it's a fair size, but it's a small country, so there's a lot of people. Most of them living in the area of Lima. From north to south, Peru is only 1,500 miles long, or about 2,500 kilometers. And like I mentioned, it has those 3 distinct regions in Peru, the Andes, the jungle part of the Amazon, and then you have the coastal region with the dunes, and you're going to see that when we come into Saint-Martin. Of course, we're going to be docking on the coast for both Lima because the ship can't go inland, last time I looked. The coastal region, though, isn't very much of the country. It's only about 11% of the country is actually on the coast. And it doesn't rain a lot here. It gets very dry. You're going to see that when we get to Saint-Martin. Only 2 inches of rain each year on the coast. It's home to very important Peruvian civilizations, and we talked a bit about that yesterday, the Chan-Chan, the Nazca, and the Scipion groups. So there's numerous other indigenous groups that were in this area way before the Incas came in and then took over those other civilizations. But Lima is the big city, the coastal area, population of about 10 million people. Now I'm going to cover, because yesterday was such a big lecture, I wanted to cover more about the people and the culture here in Lima. And the people here are reflecting basically of 12 major groups, two major groups, Indigenous and Spanish. Indigenous were here initially, the Spanish came over, and so you're going to see that reflected in the people. The people are mestizos. They're mixed raced, most of them. They can trace their heritage back to mainly both the Spanish and the Indigenous people. But when you're traveling inland, you are going to experience people that are still speaking their native language, the Quechuan. They very rarely speak English in these small villages. They live in the highlands. They follow traditions. They practice Indigenous ceremonies still. But they do have religion. Catholic has been brought into the area by the Spanish, and you do see them kind of mixing the two, and it's pretty interesting. Now, I have a video when I traveled, this is some friends of ours we traveled with, and she carried a baby, like just in a shawl in the back there. She said, "Vicki, do you want to try it?" I'm like, "No." I'll drop the baby. But here's a little video, and it's of some little girls that were singing where we caught the train to go to Machu Picchu, and they're just wanting some money. It's very, very windy in this video, but they're singing in their language, and they're just so darn cute. So here's their video. Oh, can I get the audio turned on for my port, please? Okay, turned on. Thank you. I think it's so cute because kids, no matter where they are, right, they're like bored, looking up in the air, singing, "Give me some money, lady." Yeah, I think it's really funny. But the people, 15% of the population of Peru can actually state that they are 100% white descent. Spanish mainly. The rest are making up the mixed race, the mestizos, or totally 100% indigenous, but most of them are a mixed race. Like I said, they are Roman Catholic. 90% of them are Roman Catholic. When you travel inland, though, you are going to run into much more of that indigenous culture, and those that are going into Machu Picchu, I hope you might get an opportunity to see some of this. So this is us. We were staying, and we had a shaman who came in and did ceremony with us, and we practiced chewing cocoa leaves and so forth. They even read cocoa leaves. It's very, very interesting. Doesn't speak any English, so we had translators there. For education, well, basic public education in Peru is completely free, but the kids that are inland only usually go until they're about 12 because there's no secondary school for them to go to. It's just too far away. But a lot of kids, they go and travel and go to university if they have a means to, but often they have to work on the family farms and so forth. Well, they love football, soccer. Peruvians love it so much. They watch it. It's basically another religion. That's why I put it right after religion. They have a national stadium in Lima. It holds 45,000 people. And on a game day, oh my goodness, you thought traffic's going to be bad? It's really, really bad, but extremely popular. And I'm going to go into a little bit of the culture now, the music. You might have heard me playing some music before, really short, I'm sorry. But the quenua is like a flute. And initially it was made out of hollowed out wood. They now tend to use bamboo, and they have different lengths of it to create a different sound. You'll find often when you're traveling in the Andes that you'll see them leading a group. So when we traveled into to see the condors, we were led by somebody playing the flute to welcome you to the area and to bring the spirits down to the area. And they've been playing it for over 2,000 years here. They'll sell these in Lima. You'll find them at the Inca market. They'll be cheaply made, but it's a fun souvenir to take home to your grandkids or whatever you have that might want a souvenir. And we hear that iconic guitar, right, in the Peruvian music. So this is a small guitar. It's a charango. It is made originally by the shell of an armadillo. Nowadays, you're finding kind of knockoffs, and they're made out of wood. It's a little bit more rounded, and it has a longer arm. I don't play the guitar, so I don't know much about it, but it's a wonderful, and check out, you can get some local music. You'll be seeing probably and hearing some local music if you're going to like a dinner show or you're going into Machu Picchu. You'll definitely hear it in Aguascalientes and also in Cusco. Now, the clothing, very interesting. When I first arrived in Lima and I was taking the plane to Cusco, I saw people dressed like that, and I thought they were in costume. But no, the Quechuan people still dress in their traditional clothing. You'll notice that the women have like a black skirt, and it's usually just plain, but often they'll have it nicely embroidered for ceremonies and special occasions. And then what they do is they wear a lot of layers. It's usually a blouse, and then they wear like a little jacket that's embroidered, and then a heavy alpaca shawl over that as well. And they all wear these very interesting hats, right? Now, the men dress with black pants. They often have a cotton or linen top, and then they wear like a vest, and they sometimes will wear a poncho with the iconic bright Peruvian colors, and they wear a sash that they tie usually at their waist. I think that is another great souvenir that you can find at the Inca market. We have one, we hung it on the wall. It just makes a nice souvenir. But I was talking to a couple, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and they said, what can we bring for our teenage grandchildren? Yeah, good question, right? They don't want anything but gift cards nowadays. But I said one of the things you might want to get is this hat. It's called a chulo. So it's a traditional Inca hat. They still wear it today. And it's woven with alpaca, and it has the ear flaps. And often there'll be nice alpaca wool where the ears are covering, and then they often have little pom-poms or decorations. And the more ornate it is, the more expensive it's going to be. But my husband has one of these. He wears it when he's out, shoveling the driveway in the winter. People look at him funny, but it's a very, very warm hat. You'll be able to find these all over Lima and in San Martin. You can even find them in areas of Chile as well. But I think that might be a cool gift to give your grandchildren because it's becoming very popular in North America. I'm seeing them all over there as well. They might be based on the Peruvian ones, but they're made in North America. They're certainly not made with alpaca. And we traveled, and look at our outfits. Yes. Yeah, we were traveling into Lake Titicaca. We went into the floating islands. They said, why don't we dress you up? I just love where the pom-poms are hitting, don't you? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the guy just saw it. Yeah, we didn't buy the outfit. That's next formal night, right? Okay, so sights to see. Very different than Lima. First off, where we dock is in the middle of frickin' nowhere. I'm not kidding. You're going to go, where the heck did the captain take us? We dock in San Martin. The town of Paracas is 20 minutes away. There will be a free shuttle. It doesn't take very long. It'll run back and forth, back and forth. 20 minutes away from Paracas is the city of Pisco. So the shuttles will run back and forth. It'll be much easier than in Lima, going back and forth, totally complimentary. Again, this is a place where you have to take the shuttle. You're not going to be able to get off the ship and walk around other than maybe some vendors that are there, but you're not going to be able to leave the port gate. That is what I've experienced. That's what I've been told. That's what I'm telling you, okay? If you have something different, that's up to you. I don't know that. In my slide at the beginning, you'll see the Paracas candelabra. This is going to be visible when we leave San Martin, because it's just south of the port. But if you're on one of the tours that's going to Isla Ballastas, they often take you over to see the candelabra. And you go, well, what the heck is it, right? Well, they don't really know. It has been here, they figure, because of archaeological remnants that are around and the stones that were turned over, about 200 BC. They said, and it's huge. It's, let me just find behind the size of it. They believe that it dates back to either the Nazca people or the Paracas people. They don't know perhaps if it was a symbol for maybe fishermen coming in, or was it a symbol for aliens? We don't know. They still don't know. But it's 600 feet tall, so you can see it from a very far distance. They say you can see it from 12 miles away. And this is a little bit closer up. Now, when we're leaving the port in Saint Martin, hopefully we leave on time. I think sunset is going to be around 6:30, and when we leave on the port side, so go up to deck 16, 17, up on the big decks there, and you'll be able to see it. It's going to take a little bit of time, so if we leave on time, it'll probably be like 45 minutes to an hour after we leave the port. So definitely head out there, get a view of it. Unfortunately, if the sun sets, you won't have a view of it. Take a picture of this, okay? I get a lot of guests are going out to see the Nazca lines, and a lot of people don't know about the Nazca lines. This is a pre-Columbian desert drawings. They have raised many, many questions all around the world up to why these are here, what theories are they, who created them. But again, because like I mentioned, the Paracas and the Nazca people were very advanced, and they don't really know why, but there was something that they created there, and for what reason, we don't know. Wasn't even found until we started flying. So the early 1900s, 1920 I think it was, a gentleman was flying and they saw these symbols. So I have a little video, a little like photo montage, because my husband's been there twice. Yeah, lucky guy. I haven't been on it because I suffer from a little bit of air sickness when I go to these small planes. But there are massive, mysterious drawings, and they're etched into the sand. They have been there for over a millennium. These ancient people created a whole bunch of like tapestries, trapezoids, triangles, perfect angles. There's more than 70 different symbols, lines, shapes. They have been baffling the people, well, forever. But there's like 10,000 lines that are a perfect straight line. And the next one right beside it is perfectly straight running next to it. And again, they hadn't found it until they started commercial air flight. There's different symbols like a hummingbird, a parrot, a spider, the condor. There's even one that looks like, they call it the Martian. He's got his hand up. They don't really know exactly what it is. A dog, there's a whale, and you'll see a monkey with an iconic circled tail. And that is the symbol in Peru. You'll often see it on like shirts with Peru on it, and I have a sticker on my computer with it. But these amazing lines that you really have to be up in a plane. So they have planes, everybody gets a window, you have to travel to Pisco to get it, and then you fly over the site. Now the issue is, if you are going on this, please do not have a big breakfast. Please do not drink too much the night before. Because they fly, and then they'll say, parrots on the right, and then poof, they turn right. And then they'll say, hummingbird on the left, hummingbird, and then they turn left. And so it's quite a ride. This is one, I think it might be sold out on the ship, but next time you're here, if you get a chance to do it, you can. See, that's the round symbol you'll see in a lot of the Peruvian symbols, their logo. That's all of them. Well, there's more than that, but those are the symbols, and I took a picture of a postcard for that one. But if you're going there, you can go there independently. It's not easy to do. Come see me at my desk, and we can see about it, but you're gonna have to book something independently. And what happens is the cloud cover sometimes in the morning inhibits the planes from leaving early. So what happens is when they're ready to fly, guess who they're giving priority to? The ship shuttles, the ship tours, right? And then the independents get to go. This is actually where I'm going. I'm really, really excited about it because I haven't been here and I've been wanting to go here forever. So this is another very important Inca civilization. This is an Inca fortress, Tambo, Colorado, probably the best preserved ancient architectural complex on all of Peru. It was probably an outpost. So again, the Incas would stay here. They would probably, like the chieftain would probably stay here. They found remnants of like a chamber of a high priestess. And then they traveled probably from here with goods into Cusco and then maybe Machu Picchu and so forth. But this is their coastal settlement. So when you think Machu Picchu, that's great. But this is just as important. It just doesn't have the fanfare that, say, Machu Picchu has. But they have a complex temple, there's food silos there, there's a high priestess chamber, like I mentioned, a sacrificial altar, and so forth. Very, very well preserved here. It does take a little bit of time to get there. It's probably going to be like an hour to get there. It doesn't cost a lot if you're going there independently, but you're going to take the shuttle down to Paracas, hire a taxi to take you here, pay, come back, and so forth. So I think there's 4 spots left on the tour. So if you want to come with me, sorry, no Pisco on this trip. Yesterday I said I'll give you Pisco on the next one, but that's Lima, so if you're coming with me in Lima. If you're wanting to go see some wildlife, this is a really good spot to go to. This is a national reserve, about a 30-minute drive. You're going to drive through desert and things. It is a large park. It's 870,000 acres. It has hundreds and hundreds of sea lions in the water, but you'll be able to see turtles and dolphins, sometimes even penguins here, flamingos, and you'll get to see the infamous, there's hammerhead sharks as well, and then the beautiful breeds of condors as well here. Condors, if you're really interested in Punta Arenas, I think there's a really great tour that take you to a condor reserve. And the sea lions, and then the cormorants. Those aren't penguins there. They look like penguins, but they're not. They're cormorants. If you're wanting to sort of stay close to the ship, but you're interested in archaeological ruins, this is another one, a smaller one. It is the Julio Citello Museum. Now, he was an archaeologist. He was very interested in the Paracas people. He found, and he's got in his museum there, a whole bunch of different items that you can check out. Going all the way back to from 1300 BC to 200 AD. Now, the Paracas people were very good at mummifying their dead, so you're going to get to see some of that. That's really interesting, and some textiles, how they wrapped them all. It will be open while we're there. The one thing is this museum, when you're taking the shuttle to Paracas, you will see it on your left. So you have to go into Paracas, then take a taxi a little bit of the way back, maybe 10 minutes, and then a taxi back to Paracas to catch the shuttle. It's open from 9 to 5 when we're there. Monday, Sunday. Another good spot for wildlife, Islas Ballestas. This is a good spot to go. They call it the mini Galapagos. I don't know if I'd push it that far, but you can go. You'll see lots of the terns. You'll see lots of seals. You'll see maybe even penguins. Magellanic penguins are sometimes in the area. You can't get off the boat and go on the island. One, you wouldn't want to because it's covered in shit. And the smell is very interesting as well. But you can do a tour there and see the wildlife. There's some great tours that are independent. Like even when you go into Paracas, you could do an independent tour. Trust me, they'll find you and say if you want to go do this. And you'll maybe even see some Chilean flamingos. Usually they also go and see the candelabra, like I mentioned. Please wear a hat, because everyone I hear comes back with a little mark, okay? So they say it's good luck. I love your laugh. That man has a great laugh. So let's go into a little bit more food and drink. And I talked a little bit about it yesterday, but Pisco. Pisco and Chile say that that is their national drink, the Pisco. And if you in Peru and you say you prefer Chilean Pisco, you're going to get an earful. So advice, even if you like Chilean Pisco, tell them you like Peruvian Pisco. So it is considered the national drink of both countries. It is made with the Muscat grape, and it is like a fortified wine, like a brandy. It's a clear liquid. Most people drink it in the form of a Pisco sour, but each country makes their Pisco a little bit different. So in Peru, they do 2 ounces of Pisco, they both do that, an ounce of lime juice, a little bit of simple syrup, and then they froth up the egg whites and they put them on top with a little bit of Agastine's bitter. So you need to try some because you need to tell me whether you prefer Peruvian or Chilean. Chile's, they make it with a bit of powdered sugar and then freshly squeezed lemon juice. And then you can also get it in other things, but a really good Pisco, you could just drink straight. Pisco is about 20 minutes from Paracas. You can take a taxi there if you want. There's some tours that will take you in to see one of the distilleries where they're growing the grapes here. And difference because in Peru, they grow them in valleys that are closer to the ocean. And in Chile, they grow them more in the mountains in a valley there, so they get a different breeze, the climate is different. Also, how they water their grapes is different. Peru tends to do more like an irrigation flooding, where Chile tends to do drip irrigation. So it's apparently very different. But it's a wonderful thing to try, at least in these ports of call. And like I mentioned, when we get further south in areas of Chile, they'll serve it with coffee or, something else like a hot tea. But try it out. Now, there's all different varieties of Pisco. And again, some really good Pisco you can sip and enjoy. Now, this just happens to be my husband's favorite Pisco. Pisco Parton, it's been in the family forever. I think it even says on there something, crazy. But when we were in Machu Picchu, we were actually celebrating my husband's birthday. Our guide and the shaman ended up buying a bottle. We opened it up and we drank it. We drink it straight. You sip it. You don't shoot it like a tequila, a cheap tequila, but it's a very nice drink to have. I wish the ship had Pisco. The bars don't have Pisco. I don't know why. They would sell some. But when you're ashore in both Lima and in San Martin, you'll be able to get Pisco sours. And if you don't drink, you could try one of the Inca Colas. And it's a lemony, sweet drink, kind of like cream soda, but more of a lemony flavor. It's very, very sweet, I find. And they'll even put Pisco in that. So, yeah, they don't judge. And potatoes. Potatoes were mainly harvested here in Peru. This is the most important agricultural item that they have. They have 4,000 varieties of potatoes. Potatoes are so important that in Lima they have a potato seed vault. They protect it. In case Armageddon, we're still going to be able to grow potatoes. Yeah, it's amazing. In the Andes, they grow all of these different types of potatoes. Now, this is called papa huayacane. I know the guy's going to correct me on my Spanish. I'm looking right at him. But I am trying my best. I don't speak Spanish. I speak fluent French, but I'm trying my best. I will butcher it to the best of my ability. Actually, after a couple Piscos, I'm fluent. Yeah. So this dish, they boil the potatoes, they slice them thinly, and then they serve them with this sauce. It's kind of a mayonnaise-y, cheesy, with a bit of chili, dressing that they put over it. It's very good, actually. I enjoy it. And I took this because the picture's really funny. Papas rellena. This is, I know, doesn't it look funny? Get your mind out of there. This is a croquette. So they take an egg, and then there's meat around it, and olives in there, and some tomatoes, and then mashed potatoes, and they put like a coating on it, and they fry it, and then they serve it with the sauce, and they give the 2 olives for whatever you think, you could try that when you're in Lima. You will definitely find it if you're traveling inland to Cusco and perhaps San Martin. And again, yell loudly, probably. So ceviche, trying ceviche. Now, I have corn there, but that is not really what the corn looks like in Peru. They also grow a lot of corn, but their corn is massive. It's like the size of a big tooth, and great to have that as corn on the cob. You'll find it in soups and stews and so forth. Very, very good. So for some shopping to do, well, don't worry, if you don't want to go into Paracas or Pisco and you're staying on the ship, there'll be some people set up at the pier that you can buy some last minute items. So even if you're going to, say, in the Nazca lines and you don't have time, there'll be some people. It's not going to be the best price, but there's some items there that you can buy. Definitely head into Paracas. Paracas, they'll have vendors all along the water selling everything you didn't think you needed. And most of it, I find, is made in Peru. But again, if you're buying a magnet or you're buying something smaller, chances are it's not made in Peru, because the last time I looked, China wasn't part of Peru. So a lot of the textiles and stuff are there, and they'll bargain with you, and they'll take US dollar, not at the best exchange rate, but they'll take US dollar. And then if you're in a brick and mortar store, you could pay with debit or credit card as well. So let's go into where we're going to dock. So this is where we dock, right here in the middle of frickin' nowhere, and we go to Paracas. So again, that shuttle bus is going to take you to Paracas. And this is what the pier looks like. See, I told you, there's nothing there. It's literally like just sand dunes. It's more interesting to see what they're shipping in and out of this port than it is to see the scenery. But I have walked along the pier and I have seen some nesting birds. I've also seen some huge jellyfish. I've seen turtles there. So if you just want to walk along the pier, that's okay. It's pretty neat. But literally, when you're taking the shuttle, this is what I took a picture of. This is what you're going to see. Does it look like Mars? Yeah, it does. But and that's looking from the ship. Like, it literally looks like Mars. But the shuttle buses are going to pull right up to the ship and take you out to Paracas and back and forth. If you're on a ship's tour, you meet in your location, and then they're going to take you to a bus right at the pier. You do not take the shuttle if you're on a ship's tour. If you're going independently and you've organized a tour, you need to meet them in Paracas. Where do I meet you? Well, let me show you. So we're going to take you there, and we go to Paracas and back and forth. Yeah, they don't go that fast. About 20 minutes or so. Last shuttle, 4:45 from the plaza where the fountain is, called El Chaco Square, right where we drop you off. You will be getting a letter in your cabin with the details of the times. If you want to go to Pisco, it's another 20 minutes away from there. You're going to be dropped off at El Chaco Square. There's a fountain there that doesn't have a fountain. It has weeds growing in it. I'm hoping it has improved, but you really... I'm hoping it's going to be better, but it's right there in the main square. It's a very small town. You're not going to get lost. The water is 1 block from it. You can't miss it. And then you can walk along the boardwalk. There's lovely restaurants, there's lovely bars, there's people that are going to try to get you onto a tour. The beachfront is beautiful. You want to go hang out at the beach for the day, you can do that. Here it's going to be hot. And spend the day, get some good fish, get some pisco. You know where my mind is at. Yes. But Paracas is lovely. They're used to tourists. A lot of people from Lima come here for like a weekend getaway and so forth. We are in the season of their summer holidays. The kids have all gotten off school for the summer, so we're seeing a lot more local families when we're visiting all of these places. We're dealing again with the sol, the nuevo sol, about 4 soles for $1 Again, I'd recommend you download the currency app, download that country's currency, download Chile and Argentina while you're at it, and then you can see when you're going ashore what it is in US or Canadian or whatever dollars you come from. But I find credit cards, debit, are accepted at the restaurants and bars. Confirm with them beforehand. Also, make sure if you're bringing US dollars that they are in perfect condition. They will not accept anywhere here in South America, for all the ports that we're going, anything that's ripped or torn, because they can't go to the bank and change it. So they would lose whatever money you gave them. So you need to have good quality bills if you're paying in cash. It's very safe here. Actually, Paracas is very safe. But don't be this guy, okay? And Lima especially, don't have your medallion hanging out. Don't bring the princess bag. Trust me, bring something else. I don't care what it is, even if it's a paper bag. Just don't identify yourself as an easy target. In Paracas, I laugh because I think it was 2 years ago when I was here, I got off the shuttle bus and I can understand a lot of Spanish, and I heard these 3 young boys that were like 12 saying how they just pickpocketed a stupid gringo. So don't be that guy, okay? Don't be that person. So just be a little bit smart. It's going to be hot here. I know you don't think so, but it is going to be extremely hot. So wear cool, breathable items. Take a hat, get some water. You can take water. I find the water totally safe to drink all over here. It's not an issue. When we're heading ashore, the elevator banks all have a screen, and then they rotate up some pictures, but one of them is always the port agent. Take a picture of that on the day that we're getting off. Don't take this picture, because that's not the port agent for Paracas. It's actually Loreto in the Baja, so don't call him. He can't help you. I do have another talk coming up today at 12:30 in here, but this is an enrichment talk, and it's going to talk about Vicky's 10 favorite things she loves about South America that you're going to get to see. And I want to hear what you think about them and what your 10 are going to be. And then I have my next talk, Coquimbo, after we leave San Martin. And then I have San Antonio. And then I have the Portamont on our next leg for those that are staying on here. And it'll all be in the Princess Theater. I have desk hours today between 11 and 12. I have another scarf that I brought that I will bring to my desk. And tomorrow and the next day in Lima, desk hours are 9 to 10. So if you have any last-minute questions, come see me on those days. Again, enjoy your day in San Martin. And my quote for the day, I think I already used this one: jobs fill your pockets, adventures fill your soul. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. We'll see you around the ship.